main host, Savannah. We have our birthday celebratory, Sean. Thank you guys for doing the birthday song. We have Kevin. We have Alex. Alex's computer. We have Casey, Aaron, Carter, Landry, and Caitlin.
I have swapped sides.
I got the names right. I got the names correct, right?
Stole my joke.
All right.
I swapped sides. I am traitor.
So, this is our music episode. We've done a music episode in the past, but this one's solely focused on on band, on orchestra, on choir. Our three big main music, I guess in a way, our three big main branches of music in our school. Would you guys mind telling us what each of you are in, just one by one?
You start.
I'm in choir and band. In choir, we just sing, sometimes take trips, and just general fun stuff, sometimes performances.
What about in band? What are you playing band?
Band, I'm in drumline. We do football games, basketball games, concerts, all that fun stuff.
Hey.
Your boy.
Yeah, so I do band, and well, what we do in band is, get this, play instruments.
What kind of instruments, Carter?
Yeah, we play brass, woodwind, percussion, all different types.
Bennett?
All different types. We performed at this season's football games, have played concerts, and will play more, and play at the upcoming basketball games.
I am in the band. I play trumpet for 6 years now, going on, and then I have just recently picked up euphonium, which is like the trumpet's obese brother. And then the tuba is morbidly obese.
The tuba, if anybody is wondering why it's just sitting there, Bennett brought his tuba in, so.
I'm Caitlin. Bennett. I'm taking shots at him.
Bennett, please.
I'm Caitlin, and I'm in the orchestra. I play the violin.
All right, and those are our lovely guests for today. So, why don't we start down with a couple of questions down the table?
Yes, okay. I forgot. What group, or should I say cult, are you guys each in?
Did
We just
Wait.
So this is supposed to keep us in line, but doesn't work
Next
always.
question today. Next question.
Okay.
Question.
I mean, band might be a cult, but orchestra definitely isn't.
Okay, listen, okay.
Weirdos.
Definitely.
I'm tired. I've had happy birthday saying to me 4 times now. Okay.
You're not
How
supposed to
long?
mention that.
Okay, how long have you guys all been playing music? Or like,
You guys
like
can
not
do it
playing music. Oh, my brain.
Playing and singing.
Sean,
There you go. Sean, it works. All right. it
Okay,
works.
there.
Just you
I'll
guys can
play.
do it one at a time if you want, or as a group. It doesn't matter.
We can just
Okay,
we can do it once.
Well, I'll start. I've been in choir since about 3rd grade at the primary center, and I've been in band since about 5th grade. Started at a private school.
I've played my trumpet for now about 6 years almost. Yeah.
I guess you could say it's kind of like your trumpet.
I want to strangle you so freaking bad right now.
Alex.
That was horrible.
No.
That was just horrible.
He's got a
Alex,
point.
You deserve corner time now.
He's got a point.
I'm the one with the computer.
You
Oh
deserve
my
corner
God,
time.
Alex.
It's all put
Away.
together.
Away.
Okay.
Anyway, back on track.
So,
I've
falling
played.
apart, actually.
I've played in the band since the 4th grade. They started us early, and then I've moved up all the way to here, all the way to symphonic. I picked up the trumpet in the 4th grade, and then this euphonium I just picked up last year.
Nice.
And I've been in orchestra since the 4th grade, too.
Next question.
Thank you.
You guys must be very dedicated for being in that long.
Yeah. That's
It got me out of RTI. I hated spelling words.
we definitely haven't been threatened.
We'll save that for later. Save that for later.
Sorry.
I mean-
Private information.
Save that for later.
Kevin.
So, why did you guys decide to join your groups?
I joined choir because I've always enjoyed singing, and it was just a fun group where you meet fun people. And band, I thought it'd be fun to learn how to play the drums, so I joined.
Honestly, at this point, I was probably playing piano, and I'm not gonna lie, hated every second of it. I still wanted to do music, and well, when I heard band was available, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Picked a random instrument, ended up being the best one.
Lucky pig.
Don't lie, you played trumpet too. But yeah, well, why did I join music? Honestly, it just sounded fun, and well, it was. I loved it.
Miss Holden's not gonna like that little crack about piano.
She
She
won't.
better deal with it.
Miss Holden won't like you talking about the piano like that. I think you should go on the run.
All right, well, bye.
The piano.
Currently being tracked. Your location.
Landry,
Goodbye.
Landry, help.
Okay, continue.
I joined music because just ever since I was little, I've always had a connection to music above all other things. And when I learned that I could join band, I decided that was something I really wanted to do. And when it came down to the reason why I picked trumpet, it kind of ties back into a biblical sense of, I remember hearing about the trumpets of Revelations, and I figured, how cool would that be to play the same instruments that the angels did, So I've picked trumpet for 6 years now. I don't regret it.
Hey.
So the angels be blessed.
I'm going to hit you with this freaking Chromebook if you keep on.
Hey, I saw trumpet and I was like, trumpet,
This
go do.
this tuba, Alex, you'll fit in.
Alex, I'll copy your mother.
Caitlin, your turn.
The violin made me feel fancy.
All of these other people, it's
One hell of a reason.
just find reasons.
That's
Caitlin, I just like the violin.
We got, it was really fun, been in a long
Landry
time.
gets real deep. I want to feel fancy.
I don't need to write an essay when I talk. Thank you very much.
I just really
You
like
just
wearing the color
casually
gold. It
play,
makes me feel like I'm
Beethoven.
royalty.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Yeah, okay.
The pressure is on, Casey.
Do any of you play more than one instrument and or participate in more than one group?
Percussion's kind of overarching. When you join, I joined for learning how to play the drums. I wasn't aware then in 5th grade that didn't just mean drums. That means percussion entirely. So tambourine, triangle, all the fun stuff. Even some instruments you probably never heard of. Even some instruments I've never heard of.
Wait, so
Mention
the, so the triangle, so like the,
Percussion.
and then 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Then
What is
another
this,
hour
music
goes
or
by.
geometry?
Both.
You have to hold at a certain angle, hit it at a certain angle.
Very entertaining.
Makes you feel
Better?
fancy.
Oh, well, I know how to play the piano.
Do you play it? No.
But I of course participate in band, and well, I've been wanting to join choir, but I wasn't able to take it as a class, so I'm taking it as an independent study this year.
Nice.
Like I've mentioned dozens of times now, I play trumpet and I play euphonium. Wasn't there a part of the question asked, what's it like?
That's a different one.
Do you
that's a
play
different
any in more than one
I helped write
instrument?
these questions.
That's just a
Yeah, I play
stay on pace. Stay on
Really?
pace. Hour
I mean, you can see into the future.
Crazy.
Shouldn't have had you at the planning period.
Oh,
You wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known.
Oh, well, I'll wait till that question comes
You know
around.
too much. Give him the blue pill.
Give me all
how
the
about
blue
I just
pills. It's
take
about
them out and I
time.
can deal with
It's called
myself.
the Matrix.
Anyway,
I know.
Caitlin.
I can play the cup song on a cup.
I mean,
I mean-
that technically counts. Man, we got the 3 essayers, and then we just
And-
have straight to the point.
And then,
she's actually better
One
than
sentence
all of us.
minimum.
don't
worry.
turn the camera to him, but one of our cameramen, Bennett, does play Jack, don't you dare.
We
You'll
got
have to
it.
cut that. Bennett plays tuba,
Which is sitting right over
which
there.
is what? Jack. For the love of God, stop.
Bye, Bennett.
Bye.
You'll
Love you.
have
Well,
to
there goes
cut
the
that too.
cameraman.
You'll have
Mr.
to cut that
Macaroni,
too.
come back.
Bennett has been playing tuba for a while now,
That's not our
and
bad.
after playing trumpet for a few years, he decided we wanted more bass in the band, so he decided to take this.
Yeah.
Jack,
He's
don't
not
you
gonna
dare.
do it again.
Don't you
Jack,
dare.
we need to get on with this episode.
I think
Okay,
we've
good.
officially.
That's what you said
suspended
last
any
time.
class and
All right,
Usually
let's get
have.
back on track.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, what's it like playing another instrument for those of you who do play another instrument?
Uneventful.
Fair
Because
enough.
I'm gonna be honest. I've played it. Every now and again, I'll sit down, maybe play a note, or even two.
And,
So daring. So adventurous.
so am I the only other one at this table that's really done two different instruments then?
I think.
If you don't count all the instruments.
You aren't at the table.
You're not at
Bennett.
the table. You're not at
He
the
said
table.
at
At
the
the
table.
You can't.
Plus, you don't want to be on
Bennett.
camera, so boo-hoo. Cry me a
Caitlin
river.
would be like,
Bennett, the day that
So-
you sit at this table and actually sit down and do an interview with us, we will listen to everything you have to say. But until then, you are nothing but white noise.
So,
White noise.
so, the difference in playing the
All right.
two instruments, like it's challenging because the euphonium is, I'd say, twice the size of the trumpet. I think the trumpet has about 4 or 5 feet of tubing, and then the euphonium has about 8, 9 feet of tubing in it. And so, with a bigger instrument, you need a lot more air. So, but if you want to zoom on this, the one that I'm shaking right now is the trumpet mouthpiece, and the one with the in my other shaky hand is the euphonium mouthpiece. So what you'll see is that with this mouthpiece, it's a lot bigger, and that's because you need more air. So with more air comes a naturally deeper tone, which means your notes are going to be all messed up compared to what you used to play, and it is completely different, which trumpet and euphonium have two different clefs. Now, you guys are going to ask because you're not musically inclined. Stupido.
ooh.
I'll have you know, I do choir.
Get out.
I
do too. Don't come back to AC
Leave.
Club again.
Get out of
And,
Wow.
Get out.
I am the one who
It's
Personally,
two
I would
different
not take that
clefs,
into
which
effect.
is it's essentially two different languages. I could compare bass clef and treble clef to it's like speaking English and then Spanish. It all your words in the end will mean the same thing, but it's two different ways of saying it. So your notes will be different. The names of notes will be different, but they'll sound the same.
Hola.
So in other words,
I
It's-
understand it around
Hawaii.
3% of that.
don't worry about it.
No, that actually was
Think of
really
it in
good.
the same
What?
sense as you do when you sing music in choir.
That was a good simile,
Fair
though, I
enough.
will admit, because that's a very good way to show not just to us, your hosts, but to the audience of our school or just people in general who stumble across our YouTube page. Which hi. But it's a good way to explain it to anybody who's confused about music. Because not a lot of people actually understand what goes on with music. Nobody understands that it's like a different language to do one instrument than the other, or it's a lot harder, or it's painful, or it's struggling, but you still do it because it's fun or you love it. So it's a really good simile.
So, you were just going on an entire essay about all that. So, I'm going to try to get on your same mindset.
Oh no.
So, we all know that quantum mechanics have greatly distorted the way it sounds
Now that
from
we
you
put our
to the
audience
people listening.
to sleep.
So, the real question is, do you do anything to try to negate that quantum field that is caused by music?
You know what? I do actually, because the whole way with playing and everything, you have to hold your mouth in a certain way, and you have to buzz your lips a certain way, which causes opposite quantum energy, right? So it's like polar opposites here, you know. So in order to counteract that, I have to create essentially what's the antidote to quantum energy to negate that and to make it just normal.
Who invited me?
I'm just gonna
So in other words, my quantum beats your quantum.
I don't think you know what quantum means, because quantum.
But
I
you
know-
know what?
I
You
know
what?
it from
In
Ant-Man.
order to understand quantum,
Ant-Man goes
you have to take what would be considered a quantum leap.
Well, then you got a quantum.
Okay, we're
The
done with
quantum.
quantum.
As far as you need to know, all you need to know about quantum is Ant-Man. That's it.
Ant-Man
I
goes
cannot
small.
take any
more, please. Move on.
Okay, next
Yeah.
question.
Thank you.
Okay. I
Getting angry in
I
here.
actually thought of this question because I'm big brain smart moment. Okay. Since you guys have like a better understanding of music and like instruments and stuff, I guess, what do you guys think are like some of the hardest instruments to play?
One thing I've learned over the years is no instrument is easy. You can't really find instrument to like focus on that is easy
Not even the triangle?
to play.
Shut
Not
up.
even that.
Shut up. Honestly.
That's a
shut up.
subsection of percussion.
Alex, how about we cut down on like the breakage? Okay, let's
okay.
cut down on that.
So yeah, I'm not sure what instrument's easiest or hardest. You guys have any idea?
No, I'm gonna go with what Aaron says. There's no real easy instrument to answer because,
Caitlin.
like I said earlier, it's a whole different language to learn.
So, the thing is, string instruments and woodwind and those kinds of instruments.
You're riding a very fine line. Watch what you
We're
say.
about to have a civil war on our hands. So I think I might
No,
need to cut this off.
no. This is actually a compliment to the band kids.
Okay.
So, you guys gotta calm down. So, the thing with like woodwind instruments and brass instruments is you have to use like your body. You have to like breathe and stuff into it. Shut up. And while you're playing a string instrument, you don't have to like put force into it. You can just use your arm.
But you have to have rhythm in your hand, don't you? You have to have rhythm.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
I don't end up.
I have to look over Carter's head to look at you. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I don't end up breathless when I'm playing my violin.
That's the point.
I've
is
just
the-
said.
There is, while she does have the point of, it is, there's not really a hard or an easy instrument to start learning, there are the key differences that make them up, like your guys' instruments that are more using actual oxygen as compared to hers where it's more physical, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Using
Thank
actual
you.
oxygen as opposed to artificial
Shit,
oxygen.
shit. Okay, we've all had a long day. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, child.
I'd say the hardest part is just learning how to read music in general. Once you actually learn how to read music, you can pretty much learn how to play anything pretty decently, easily, as long as you practice and put in the work.
We'll answer Carter's and then we'll go on to the next one. That way we aren't taking too long.
Okay. So,
Picture this. Okay, come on.
I personally do believe that the hardest instrument, right? Piano. And that is mainly because of how big it is. You got to memorize all these notes. But once you learn the general basics of a piano, it's essentially the basis for the rest of music. You know how to read music based on piano. You know what octaves are. You know what everything is. And it's just the basis that brings you into the music world. So if you can read music, right?
Just keep going. Just keep going.
If you can read music,
These poor editors.
if you can,
We are the poor editors, Aaron. That is us.
The editor is probably going to be me, so don't worry.
Our editors
Yeah.
don't get paid anyway. It's okay.
Child
Yeah.
labor.
It is. It's child labor.
but so basically, I believe the piano is the hardest instrument because it's, in my opinion, it's easy to learn, but extremely hard to master. But hey, once you know it, the rest of music comes down to knowing how to play the instruments.
Oh, it's actually a really good way to understand music. And it's a really good way to explain it. Because I understand music a bit more from that now. From somebody who grew up in a house full of guitars, and my brother was the only one besides my nana to learn piano, seeing that now, I understand how he was able to learn piano and get so into that and guitar at the exact same time.
You mean Carter did something productive?
Yeah. Congrats.
This mouthpiece is going to
They've
come out again,
used
and not for
brain
the
cells
reason
for a
you
couple
want.
seconds there.
Okay, let's get on to another question. I don't want to take too long of you guys' time because I know you guys have some meetings to go to and important things to do. So, table.
So, do you mind letting us know, okay, how do I put this?
as
Do you
it's
mind
written.
letting us into what you guys go through to be so professional?
Professional.
Do we want to take this to specifics, because there's two different types of getting professional for it, because there's a concert band and then there's the marching band, which is two separate different things on how you have to become professional.
I'll word it. You guys look basically like clean and cut and dry. You guys look like you are, marching band. You guys look like an army. You guys look like you're one step away from becoming actual soldiers that can step in line with one another. You guys look like truly trained professionals in our eyes, because we've most likely never seen, a master chess player, at his peak, just like we've never seen you guys at your peak, but we've seen what you can do, and it seems like it's so different from us. We're people who have never played an instrument or are just in choir and haven't played an instrument before. And it's kind of interesting to see you guys play music, because we're like, I would never be able to do that, but you're an ordinary person like me. How do you guys kind of do it? Is that
So,
better?
Carter and I will talk on the on our part of it. Drumline has a bit different way of doing it, and I'll let Aaron speak on that. But for the woodwinds and the brass, it comes down to a lot of just learning how to hold steady air through your instrument while walking. There's a specific way you have to walk in order to keep your air steady, and it comes through a lot of days. This happens during the summer that we practice, right? We start practicing before school ever starts. We start around, what is it, a week? 2 weeks before school starts, where it's 90 degrees outside. We're out there for 8 hours a day. And Bennett has to hold, and poor Bennett, I prayed for him every day. He held a 35-pound instrument on his shoulders for 8 hours a day. And you would come home with a lot of sunburns. It would hurt, your back would end up hurting a lot, especially for a drum line. I feel for you guys because of having to carry those drums. But it comes with a lot of back pain, arm pain, struggling to breathe because the air is so hot and it's so thick out there on the field. There's no clouds in the sky. There's no nothing. So what it ends up coming down to is steady air. You got to walk a certain way. You got to hold yourself a certain way. Because if you're not holding yourself a certain way, it all falls apart. You got to learn your timing. You got to learn where to step, when to step, which foot to step with, which fingers. This was the first year that we actually had to memorize our music. So while walking and remembering all that, on top of that, you have to remember every single note you have to play. With a lot of that, it comes months of practice. Months of practice where we would spend 3 days a week, 2-3 days a week outside for 2 hours marching on that field. And that field is not even. There are holes in that field. There are bumps in that field. You are lucky. Your people were lucky if they didn't twist their ankle once a day.
Yeah. And on the
He about fell over.
just on to Aaron though, because we gotta.
Yeah, let's get to Aaron.
We're starting to run out of time.
Yeah, like he said, we have our band camp during the summer. We practice pretty much everything. We run through our songs. We learn our songs. We practice marching, good posture, how to march, how to look professional. It's just a long process. Drumline practices together. We practice our cadences, make sure we have that down, make sure we look like a cohesive unit, and it's just a lot of practice, but we're happy when it pays off, because it does.
Is there any orchestra practicing or preparations that you guys have to make that are a little bit like they're similar to like how theater will sometimes go until like 9 o'clock? Because I know a lot of theater kids struggle with that. Is there anything that orchestra kids mainly struggle with, whether it be time or something in general?
Well, we have to practice at home a lot because a lot of our rhythms are really hard, but not really.
All right. I mean, you guys are still valid in that way.
You are too. You're valid too.
Thank you.
We love our orchestra.
And I did want to
We love our band too.
did want to say this. Forgot to mention this before the episode, but we are going to be talking about some really deep subjects, and our editors, whichever one's there, because we have a couple, but whichever ones you are, this is the timestamp that we're going to start talking about it, and we're going to add a timestamp of whenever we're going to stop talking about the serious topics, because we've got some really serious issues we've got to address about our school and about certain situations going on. So the next question is mainly aimed towards band, but it can also be towards any of you guys. But band kids are not always treated with as much respect as they rightfully deserve. So could you kind of explain situations where that has happened and explain your emotions, your feelings during that time, just so that other people, I don't know, I guess can see it from your point of view, or just so you can have it out there in the world?
Considering Carter had the worst of this one night, I'm gonna let him speak first.
Yeah.
All right. So it kind of started with us going into this year. We were really excited. We were really happy with all our pieces, and we were thinking that the audience was gonna love it, and the audience did.
The audience being the football games, by the way. I just wanted to mention that.
And all the audience did, except for the Chaos Cage, or what seemed like the most of them. It wasn't the entirety of them, and I'm not going to say it is. But there were a select group that decided that now that the football team is like doing really well, and just everything, that we don't need the band anymore. We were essentially considered outcasts. We were called freaks. A lot of slurs were thrown at us.
Especially you, in particular.
Oh my gosh, they hated me, I'm telling you. One point, I don't know whether it was an accident or not, I had hot, like, chocolate pouring down my back.
That was most likely on purpose.
I'm hoping it wasn't on purpose, and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the band was just not being treated with respect. I was really excited for this, and we were kind of thrown away. And I don't know. I know I'm not the only band person who feels this. And I don't know. I just feel like everything we worked for wasn't appreciated. And that now that we had something good, we had to have something to dislike. Because I know that the Chaos Cage would get pretty frustrated with the football team last year. And so they found good things in the band or something. But now that everything was good, they had to find something to hate on. And, well, we were chosen as their thing to hate on.
Going back to what they were saying and stuff, I remember hearing freaks, they called Carter a certain slur during class.
Yeah, football players in the back did.
They yelled that we should go kill ourselves. We're not wanted. We suck. The Lord knows what they said while we were out on the field. But there was one football game I remember in particular where anytime we'd play, they had, and I had this report to me, they had 3 boom boxes up in the Chaos Cage. And every single time we'd play something, they cranked up their boom boxes as high as they go, trying to overpower us. And I remember it was one of the first games that we were at. Like Carter said, we were so excited for this. And we were sitting there, and I remember all of a sudden I just had this excruciating pain in my back, you know. And I turned around and I looked, and it was this body armor bottle that was half full that someone had chucked from the top. And it come down and hit me square in the back. Yeah, his reaction there just by poking. Imagine my reaction with it coming full send at my back. And I was doubled over in pain because, a half full bottle that's gonna hurt. Not to mention it's hard plastic. And there was some poor woman in the crowd. I'm not gonna mention who she was or who she's related to for personal reasons, but they took a bottle of water and they unscrewed it most of the way. And from the very top, they chucked it down. and it hit the woman square in the arm and exploded all over her. She ended up having to get up and walk off. I don't know if she came back or not. But I remember talking to her because I know the person. I remember talking to her like a week or so later, and she still had a bruise all the way down her arm from that one moment. They were taking condoms. They were blowing them up like balloons and passing them around. What else did they throw at us? Did they throw an apple at one point?
Maybe. I remember started hitting someone's hat just around because they thought it was funny.
They, what was that? Yeah, we were sitting there. This was at the end of the game. And as a marching band, we are a little small. So we do leave space in between to where we don't have people crowding up on each other. Instead, when the whistle blew for the game to be over, instead of taking the bleacher stairs down, they ran right through us. My trumpet was on the ground. The tuba was on the ground. The trombone was on the ground. Clarinets were on the ground. Saxophones were on the ground. There was, I'm not even exaggerating, probably close to $50,000 to $100,000 worth of equipment sitting there that they almost stepped on. And Mr. Mateka was yelling at them, trying to get them to stop and take the stairs, but they wouldn't even listen to him. I mean, and the only time we ever got respect was when we went out of town to the Carbondale SIU parade. Now that was a parade I'll remember forever because
Awesome.
people were singing to what we were playing. They were hooping and hollering for us. I remember when we were hooping and hollering.
I'm sorry. I've never heard anyone actually use that.
We're
And-
very southern. We're very southern, okay?
Southern
And
Illinois.
I remember we were practicing we were warming up for the parade underneath one of the overpasses there, and the Carbondale Middle School was sitting over there maybe 30 feet off from us, if even that. We started warming up, and they all flocked over and sat there and listened to us. And when we were done, they just started clapping and cheering. But they sounded bummed out. They sounded bummed out at the same time too, because we only played like a third of the song, and they got bummed out when we stopped playing. So I walked over to Mr. Mateka. I said, "Hey, they really liked it. Let's play something for them. Let's play one of our songs for them." So we got up in line. Aaron and the drum line tapped us off, and we started playing. And in the middle of us playing, they're up there, they're hooping, hollering, all that jazz. Stop laughing. I know
I'm
it's Southern. I
sorry.
know I'm old.
No,
Um,
it brings some life
And then,
with it.
and then
No.
whenever we were done, they started cheering and clapping, and their band director walked up, and he walked up to Mr. Mateka, and he said, "Since you guys played something for us, we want to play something for you." So they turned around and they played, what was it, Seven Nation Army?
It was like
Yeah.
some
Seven Nation Army
arrangement of
mixed with
seven,
something else.
and it was
Yeah.
it was
They were
really good.
And then their college band, what was it? Their college or their high school band was
I think it was
sitting
high
in front
school.
of high school band came over, and they played something off the drum line for us.
Oh,
And
Their
then
drum line came over.
remember their sousaphone?
Yeah, with an 8-pound sousaphone compared to his
Literally
sorry,
swinging
sad
it all
30.
around.
Yeah.
They were performing
He-
tricks
oh,
with
he
it,
was
and it
swinging
was
it.
so cool.
Yeah,
oh,
they,
that's so sweet, guys.
But that was the most, and that was a 3-mile parade. That was a 3 mile
that was
parade.
a long parade.
And the,
And we got that done in 40 minutes.
That was-
Yeah. Biggest amount of respect we got here was at an assembly when Coach Mings, who
Yeah,
amazing person right there, he decided to give us some recognition, which made us honestly feel really good. We were happy to just get some sort of respect by anyone.
I do personally want to commend and thank Coach Mings for sitting there giving us some sort of recognition, because let me tell you, when he called out our names and we went down and took that picture and we came back, a lot of people I looked around from the band were almost to tears at the fact that we were finally recognized for something. And he just, how many, I'm assuming all of you were at that assembly. And we were sitting there, and when they pulled out Coach Mings to give his speech, the first thing he said was, "Before I get started, I want to commend this certain group of people who worked off their butts day after day just to give us some form of entertainment, and they knocked it out of the park." And he gestured to us, and I about cried. I just about cried for that. And then they went to take the pictures, And we're over sitting here being the grouches and the grinches that we are for pictures because we never get called for anything.
I also don't like pictures.
Yeah, you don't like pictures.
I-
And
I'm on videos.
all of a sudden they called out the marching band, and instead of getting up to take pictures, you could compare us to meerkats because they called our name and we went. Us? And Mr. Mateka turned around. Mr. Mateka didn't know they were going to call us either. He turned around. He went, "Well, go!"
If I were Mr. Mateka, I would have personally grabbed all of you and said, "Go! I will make you."
The marching band season overall sucked to the point where a lot of us threatened to quit if they pulled one more thing.
Well,
But when it came down to the final few things that we did, I would say that's probably some of the best fun we've had this semester and this year and probably last year too.
I'd agree with that.
The only last thing I did want to mention is about the games. Because as an outsider, I did also see this, I guess, abuse that you guys had faced. I want to call it abuse, but I don't want it to be like an
Yeah,
extreme
You
word.
don't want it to generalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to an outsider, I was doing photos and such, and I was taking photos of my friend Victoria. Hi, love you.
Victoria.
But Victoria, and I turn around and I'm like, why is the Chaos Cage empty? It's not halftime, it's band time. The entire stand during the first game of the season for Chaos Cage was empty. And Golston and I both agree that whenever we saw that, we sat there like, what's going on here? Because you don't do that. Like, people left and didn't come back to the game. Because they're like, okay, band's here, we can leave. All right, end of the game. Like, that's what frustrated me the most out of everything as an outsider is just seeing so many people just leave to go do whatever else or just leave in general. That's what probably frustrates me the most. That genuinely.
Yeah, we didn't get to. Did you guys look up at the stands at all while we were out in the field?
Every now and again, especially when we were like memorized. And the first game we were memorized, it was exactly like it was up until like last two.
I was more paying attention to all the like parents in the crowd that were there for us that
actually
paid
wanted to see
paid
us.
to get in to see us perform and how cool that was.
That's what I did love is not only were there parents in the stadiums or adults for their children, but there were teachers that have nothing to do with any of this, but they still come to support our team. Like Coach Trace Turner of the track team, I did an interview with him one night at a football game, and he was there. He doesn't have a kid in football. He doesn't have a family member in football, but he was still there to support the band kids, the football kids, the kids doing AV, or the kids doing yearbook. He was there to support all of those kids, even if they weren't technically his kids. That's what I love about kind of our school, is some people will come even if they have no attachment to it.
Yeah, Mr. Holden showed up for a lot of the games whenever he could, just to support us. He always sat around the band kids.
And then I think there's kind of one last question or two.
Yeah. So after all of this, all of the ups and downs, do you ever regret joining music?
No,
Not for a second.
no. I love it so much.
There are the highs, there are the lows. It all just comes with it. You learn to deal with it. I didn't experience the same stuff they did because drumline hangs out way at the bottom, and we're not really affected by the Chaos Cage except for like them screaming and yelling at us to play certain songs, which is fine.
What I did love was whenever they kept screaming for us to play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I thought
But that wasn't up until the end.
marching season was a lot of fun this year because it was really cool having like a team that was fun to watch and support and fun to get behind, and it just made the experience all the better. But it definitely did make parts of our Chaos Cage a little unruly and, for lack of a better term, chaotic. But
Now, is that chaotic with a C or a K?
whichever.
With a
Neither.
CK.
Okay.
Neither. So, one last question.
Is it my
Are,
time?
are we going
I
around to
think
ask
it is
people
your
individually
time to
why
shine.
they wouldn't regret it? Or
I don't know, because I don't think we have a whole lot of time left. I think we're like
Yeah.
over
Okay.
time.
yep, he says we got
Yeah,
wrap
Gilson
it up.
says.
Okay, we got time. Okay, just quick.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, we don't have time then.
Is it my time? Is it finally?
Oh, I was gonna
If
say
you
we
can do
had.
it in 5 minutes, yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We do have like
Hold
a
on.
small skit
Hold
to
on,
try and
hold on,
brighten the
okay.
mood.
Are we
Hold on,
done
hold
with
on. Are we
questions?
good? Are we
You
good?
keep
Okay,
one of
ready?
these puns.
Alright, hold on. Let me just get the atmosphere to be like less chaotic.
I guess that'll be my
music.
punishment.
So
Yeah.
we have a small skit to kind of brighten the mood after this, and it was a good way you guys brightened it with those stories that you guys had. So, stop trying to strangle each other, please.
It's not each other.
All right, Sean.
Okay. I was ready like half a second ago, and then okay.
Sorry, I
Hold on.
had to get everybody
Hold on.
else ready too.
Okay.
So,
Well. It is finally time. I have a very important question for all of you.
okay.
I've been waiting this whole time.
Oh god.
It'll blow your guys' entire minds, okay?
Carter, you
Okay,
get to answer
completely, boom, it'll be gone after this, okay? What do you guys think? What do you guys think came first? The fruit or the color orange?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with the fruit.
The fruit?
Yes.
I know the actual
Don't
answer
ruin
to
this.
this.
Don't ruin
I know.
this. Don't do it. Don't ruin it.
Landry, there is no answer. It's just a survey. Don't think too deep about it, okay?
I'm thinking deep. It's hurting my brain.
All right,
Quantum.
Aaron.
I'll say the fruit.
All right.
I'm
the
gonna bring it
color,
back and
I'm
hit you
pretty
over the
sure
head with
fruit
it if
Came
you
from
don't.
like not England territory.
All right. And then,
The color.
okay, so we're split 50-50. We'll
Okay.
remember that for next time so we can keep it going for the rest of the year.
Ah,
Yeah, it's split right now.
So,
Cool.
thank you guys for answering that quick question.
Back to my face.
Just one very last question, if you guys can do this last question. What would you say to somebody who's kind of intimidated to join band because of what happened this year?
We don't bite that hard.
Join or else. Well, if you've had any interest in music in the past and you're wanting to express that further, you can join band. It's not a requirement to do marching band unless you're in symphonic, but I'd recommend joining it for at least the experience.
Yeah. It's in pretty much nothing but friendships and band. We have a lot of fun in there. There's no homework. No, hearing that, guys, no homework.
Very easy credit.
Come
Very
join-
easy
I
credit.
haven't heard those words in 37 years.
Come join the band. We have a lot of fun.
4 years.
We only have to sacrifice a freshman every few years.
Yeah. Isn't next year coming up?
Yeah. Wait.
what?
Some lucky freshman is gonna have to be the sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's a band god, right? Not many people know about him, and I'm actually tempting him, talking about him. But every few years, we have to sacrifice a freshman because it's fresh blood. And it keeps him
I'm not even a
it keeps him
freshman.
rejuvenated, right? And yeah, we had to do that a couple years ago, and I still miss poor Jimmy. I do. He was a nice guy. He really was, wasn't he?
And not to take away from your reading,
Carter was
That's part of
Jimmy's
the
best
acting.
friend.
not to take away
Carter,
from the
auditions are next week.
But I did want to ask Caitlin the same question to see if Caitlin had anything.
Huh?
Okay. I was about to reword it, and then everybody got quiet. So, in orchestra, if there even is any drama linked between all of these together, but is there any people who are intimidated into joining orchestra, what would you say to them to get them to join?
Nice people. Easy instrument. Join.
Aaron, anything about choir?
Song.
If you enjoy singing and performing, and you want to learn more about like the technical aspects of singing and how the voice works and the inside of like your vocal folds and stuff, it's a really fun class. We do fun performances. We just took some of us just got selected to take a trip to Murray State University in Kentucky, where we got to perform with, I think it was like 300 something odd kids from the 4 surrounding states.
And how many auditioned?
I think they said like over 800 auditioned, and 8 of us got picked from the school.
Congrats, guys.
That was a really fun experience. So if you like singing and want that kind of opportunity, it also looks great on college applications, and you can also gain scholarships through choir, band, any type of music. It's a great way to get into that, especially if you're looking for a career in music or performing.
Well, and I think with that, I think we're like way past time.
And
we're
time
ready.
schmine.
Yeah, we're sorry about wasting all that time on you guys, but it was actually a really good way to learn about music, band, orchestra, choir, and also to kind of bring to light issues that are with our school, because you can always grow from issues. You can always grow from them. So, I think this has been a long enough Ramcast episode. I'm Savannah, Sean, Kevin,
Alexander
Alex.
Quantum Burke.
I will strangle you! Casey,